What's up, guys? My name's Doofus Mcdooface, and today I'll be creating a tier list based on the months of the year. This is just my personal opinion, where over my life the months have been good or bad. Without further ado, let's get into it. January, I'm gonna start. It's sort of in the middle. I've never that I can think of had an amazing January, but I don't remember having like a bad January either. So I think it's either C or B tier. I might move it up or down. But I can't really remember anything crazy. February, I'm having a pretty good February so far, but I don't want that sort of current bias to overtake my lifetime Februaries. I mean, you're sort of like second month of school, you know, a lot of school. I mean, I'm only 29, so I mean, I had college and then high school. So it's just like, you're not very close to any vacations or weeks of time off. Yeah, you've got Valentine's Day, but I just feel like for me, February is sort of that same C tier, not that great. Um, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, February and January, I don't start the year off amazing, like I might have some goals or something, but it's not like, wow. March, now we're sort of heating up. March, I've definitely had some good Marches. Um, I'm gonna go B tier on March. I feel like springtime getting close. That's when I really start to feel like good stuff's happening. Sort of the middle of the school year, or as an adult. Maybe you've put in some time. January and February, you sort of grinded, and now you're in March, 2 months later, starting to see some results. April, without a doubt, is my S tier. I can't tell you why. I mean, I can. April, I'm always the strongest. April, I always get girls. Uh, April is just my time. I don't know why. I have no idea, but I very rarely have a bad April. I've never had a dog pass away or a cat pass away in it. Like nothing bad has ever happened to me in April, to the point where I'm just starting to expect like that's the like it's in February right now, and I'm like, okay, I've got another month and a half before April comes up, and all the good stuff is gonna come around. Like I just don't have a bad Aprils. I hit goals. Everything good happens in April. But because of that, May is usually the letdown. May is usually quite the letdown. Um, not a lot of good stuff happens for me in May. Um, I have lost a lot of goals and stuff in there. And it's the end of the year, or sort of the end of the school year, for those that are in schooling, right? It's pretty much the last full month. Um, and so because of that, you've got tests, you've got exams. It's pretty stressful, but it's still kind of nice. So like, I'm not gonna go D tier. Is May B tier or C tier? All right. After further consideration, I think May still should be in B tier, um, because there is good stuff happening. Summer is coming. Yes, you have tests, but like I think it's also a month that I remember a lot of, right? So would I rather like have a January, February where I have to work hard but I can't remember it, or a May where I have to work hard, exams, sort of let down from April, but I can still remember things happening in May, you know? So I think May for me is a B tier because it's a big life month. It's a big life month. June. June, you're out of school. Summer starts. So many vacations for me have occurred in June. I'm going with A tier. I don't think it's quite S tier. Like I said, for me, April for me is something special. So June, I'm gonna have to go with A tier. I think a lot of people would probably agree with me. They probably want June in S tier. Where I live, it starts getting really hot in June, so that would be something that makes it not S tier. But yeah, June, A tier. Vacations, out of school. Um, the weather is not the best, but I think A tier is fair. July, When I was younger, I would have had July in probably A or S tier for sure. Once again, some vacations. 4th of July was a big one for me and my dad. But my favorite dog died in July. You know, Rufus, the goat, I call him the greatest of all time. He passed away in July of 2022. Man, that's a long time ago. So that just sort of like that knocks the month down a couple of notches. Like you don't forget that. You don't really forget that. So although July for me probably should be in A tier, as a relatively good month, I'm gonna knock it down 2 notches. One for the weather and one for my dog passing away, right? So could have been S tier for some people, but for me, July has just the memory of that. Like it's gonna take a while to get over that, or I never will. Maybe it'll never be an A or S tier for July. But yeah. August. I don't really like August. it's still hot. I know I keep going back to the weather, but I live in the hot part of California, not the beachy area. So August for me, the weather, school's starting back up. So there's that like anticipation, right? There's that anticipation, but is it a good anticipation or a bad one? I feel like for me, it's okay. I'm gonna go like C tier. You know, does anything great happen in August? No, not really. Not really. September. September. Um, I can't really remember that much. Let's see. I had a high school girlfriend in September when I was in high school. That's something I can remember. Um, I have an upcoming trip in September. I've had some trips in September. Lake Tahoe. So I guess September is a pretty cool month. Um, Kind of unmemorable, but I think it's like a C plus B minus. I'm gonna go on the bright side today. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna give September a B minus. You are at the bottom of B, but you can stay there. All right, October. The weather's finally starting to kick into gear. Like it's not hot. There's some lovely 70 days. Feels like I'm at the beach sometimes. And I guess September would have some of those, but October has the majority of like amazing weather days. Halloween, it's solid. See, if I put October in C, like people are gonna think I'm crazy. But then if I put too many B, you know what? Just based on the weather alone, I'm gonna go A tier. Um, Growing up, Halloween parties were really cool as like a college adult. Um, but S tier for me, like I'm getting older now, I don't I'm not going trick or treating, you know. I'll be honest, I'm not a candy giver, you know. Cuz then you lose your whole night. But I still think October is pretty solid. I still think October is pretty solid. November. I'm just going to throw November in D tier and I'll explain to you why. Yes, there's Thanksgiving, but it starts getting cold. Too cold, right? Sometimes you have those good November months and sometimes you have the cold ones, right? You sort of get caught off guard, but you're almost at the end of the year. That's November is the realization when the year is over. Okay. So if things are going great, fantastic. Maybe it's A or S tier, right? Like if you've been a very successful person, I can definitely see November being up there. But for me, like November is like, oh man, another year cooked, right? I have to do everything in December, right? December, my birthday month, my birthday in December, and Christmas, the month where there's my birthday and Christmas. I'm gonna have to lock in harder than I've ever locked in before, and I feel like that happens a lot. So it's sort of a me procrastination thing. Yes, I've had like BlizzCon, a gaming convention. Those usually happen in November. So that is a good thing. But I also feel like the dread of the end of the year is what hits harder for me. So I'll always remember those Novembers as being like, ugh, gotta lock in. December, and sort of the same thing. I'm gonna go C tier, top C tier on December. Because once I was like a teenager, Christmas ended. Like I haven't had a Christmas in like 15, 16, 17 years. And so because of that, it's sort of a depressing month for me. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I want to switch those up. I've had, like I said, the BlizzCon trips, the convention trips in November. At least pull it up. I don't really have trips in December. And yes, it's my birthday month. Yes, it's Christmas. But if you don't have a person, if you don't have family and friends, like I feel like December can really just freaking suck, you know? Just like February, right? Like if you don't have a Valentine's Day, it's kind of a depressing month, right? So I think December for me, ever since I was a kid, has just been like kind of depressing. Like, what gifts did you get? My dad let me use the Amazon account to buy whatever I want. Oh, so you didn't get any gifts? Well, no. You know, I just feel like that's kind of depressing. But and then you have to hear everybody else, what gifts did you get? You know, oh, you visited family. You know, it's like cool for you guys, you know. But for me, you know, Mr. Lone Wolf over here, I'm like, let's go ahead and skip to the next couple of months. When's April? But yeah, I feel pretty good with this. April for sure. June. You know, I want June behind October. Not that it like matters, but it just feels a little bit better for me. Actually think I want September right there. November. Actually, November should be back there. All right, I feel pretty good about this tier list of the months of the year. What do you guys think? And hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching.